So after a good long while, the VIP zone is finally available in Last Day on Earth, and in this video we're going to be taking a detailed look at this new location and all that it offers. Throughout the video we're going to be taking a look at some of the new locations inside of this area, like the repair bench, which I've unlocked, and I'll show you all the details on that. We'll also take a look at some of the cosmetics that you can earn, and I'll also be doing a little bit of speculation about some of the prizes that are up for grabs. I'll also do a complete walkthrough of all the levels and what they offer and their benefits. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So to get this gate open, the first thing you need to do is make a purchase in the store. As you can see, all of the items in the store now have this little purple icon, and you can get 10 crowns per $1. Those crowns go towards unlocking the VIP area, and you can just buy one item for $1 and you can get access. So it's pretty easy to get in. And I showed you my inventory there because we're actually going to get some items inside the VIP zone, so you'll want to know what I have before going into this area. This first little area we come to here is a water dispenser area, and you can get a ton of water here. As you can see, I've already gotten a good bit, and to test out how much we could actually get, I just spammed this button like crazy and sped it up. And we're going to check the inventory here to see what we got. A ton of water. This is a great source if you are working on mixing that cement to build the lighthouse or anything else that requires cement. Next up, we've got the black market here, and here you can use these tokens to get varying levels of rarity prizes, and specific tiers that are available are going to be unlocked depending on your VIP level. So level 7 is required for that last level there. We'll get more into that a little bit later. Here's our medical supplies table. This is also tied to a VIP level. As you can see here, I got 10 bandages, which isn't too shabby. And if you continue to spam that button there, it just restores your maximum health. So you could always just bust back to this area if you're in a zone, and you can get your max health from here. So let's carry on. And we've got this special guest only area. And to get in here, you're going to need to prestige. We're going to explain that a little bit later, but it's going to be a while till we get in there, and I'll make a follow-up video on that. Here we've got the food stall, and I got 2 berries there, and I spammed the button here. This is not like the water area. You don't get almost infinite spams here. And let's take a look at the total items that I actually got here. We got a decent amount of food in the inventory, as you can see, mostly berries and those carrots there. Now we're going to carry on over to this food preparation area, and here you can get a buff. And I think these buffs are on a rotation, so we're going to see how many different kinds of buffs are actually available in the future. And if I come into my inventory here, I can see that the temporary buff that was offered was an armor increase. So let's actually go into my character and see how much of the armor was actually increased by this buff. And so we're going to head on over into here, and you can see that we actually have 30 armor now. But when I take a look at all the items, it only adds up to, say, 25. So we actually got an additional 5 from that buff, and that lasts for 2 hours. So that is nothing to scoff at. That's actually a really decent buff. It'll be interesting to see what other ones are available in the future. We also get this cool bike skin at level 5. Not really my favorite, but it goes with some of the other VIP level items. Now this is the interesting part, the repair bench, and this is actually kind of OP. So if you put any weapon or equipment also means armor, it will take a day, and it will actually completely restore that durability of the item. Now you can also speed this up with tokens. We'll talk about how to get those later. But this is really interesting because you can actually speed up that timer with a higher VIP level, so it doesn't take a day anymore. And we'll get more into that a little bit later as well. So let's go ahead and head on over to the last area that we're going to be covering, probably the main attraction, and this is the wheel. The wheel spins are on a cooldown, but you can actually upgrade the prizes that you get from the wheel by leveling up your VIP level. So I'm going to spin it here. We'll see what we can get. Since I'm at VIP level 5 at the making of this video, I actually got 20 coins, which is nothing to scoff at. That's 4 perk rerolls in the laboratory, which can actually save you a lot of resources. So this wheel is actually pretty good. You can get a lot of tokens that can be used at that black market stall, and you can get some other decent items there as well. So now that we've taken a look at the VIP location, let's actually take a look at the level unlocks and what's required to unlock certain areas in that location. Level 1 is the most simple. It gives you the unlock for the location and some of the areas inside there. Level 2 gives you the unlock for that food buff stand, which is really good, and it also gives you an XP buff. Level 3 lets you access that black market extra rarity, and you also get a decreased energy cost, and your workbenches also have a decreased time. This is really helpful, and it also applies to the recycler as well. So you're going to see a common theme with each level unlock in that it provides you with additional buffs that stack depending on the energy decrease or maybe the workbench time decrease, or they improve the availability of certain areas inside of the VIP zone. Now, there's one thing to note with this is that each level up you get in the VIP zone, it takes more points to get to the next level. Another important aspect of this leveling system is that these levels accumulate and you never lose your levels. So over your entire history of Ldoe since this shop has been released, you are going to accumulate these levels. What is kind of rough is that it doesn't go back in time, it's not retroactive, so you don't get levels for your previous purchases, but going forward, these accumulate and will be active every time you make a purchase for a week. And as you can see, when you get further along in these VIP levels, the additions of these buffs actually gets really insane. Like, I think it's going to be overpowered, the effect that these buffs actually have on gameplay. Now, the prestige level is actually really interesting, and we're going to come back in and look at the details for this one because there's a lot here. And the one interesting thing is that every day we get access to an indestructible weapon for an hour. This sounds a lot like the Brutalizer, and if you want to see what that may look like, check out my detailed video on the Brutalizer when I unlock that. And another interesting aspect of this prestige level is that we get access to special storage where any item that we get from a body or a chest will go to the storage, so it essentially negates the need for transporting stuff with your backpack back to base every time you need to clear resources. This is really overpowered in my opinion. And the way these VIP prestige levels work is that once you get over level 10, these prestige levels start to stack. And I'm not entirely certain about this whole process yet because it's still very early on. I think this whole system has been out for just around 24 hours since I've made this video, but I will be posting updates in the pinned comments if there's any change to any aspect of the VIP system or any other further developments are figured out. And please post any comments down below of any extra information that you know about this system and some of the unlocks. Like, I've heard that it costs around 200 to 250 USD to get to level 10. All of this is a little bit fuzzy right now, but I really appreciate you checking this video out. And please consider dropping a like and maybe subscribing to the channel because this took a decent bit of work to put together and get out so quickly. And I really appreciate you stopping by and have yourself a great day.